A door?
A door. Just think of any door, the first door that comes into your head. Imagine a door in your head.
A door.
A door. Any door.
Okay, so wooden, about 6.5 foot high, 3 foot wide, an inch deep, brass door handle, brass knocker, probably a bronze letterbox, dark keyhole, in like panelled, I suppose. I can't think how else to describe it, I'm afraid.
So it'd be red oak door in the middle of a forest, and it'd have loads of leaves and vines around the archway. It'd have a big brass knocker on the front, and it'd have loads of flowers all around the edges of the door.
The first door that comes to mind is the doors I always wanted for my house, which is kind of like a Georgian style door, oak, with the square panel at the top and 3 long panels. A solid circular brass knob, nice heavy one, and then quite ornate, like trimmings around the edge. I can't think what they're called, but yeah, like a nice light oak colour, and a very heavy solid door.
It's a very simple door. It's dark. It's quite ominous. It's very plain. There's like a black frame round it, very simple architrave frame, and a dark wood grain door, very simple handle, no other features on it. It's giving me a sense of foreboding.
It was kind of like the feeling of being inside against outside. So to me, I think that would be the door.
It's got a story to tell, you know, things that might have been there before I arrived. I think that's quite interesting. There's lots of, you know, obviously doors are key sort of passageway between different places, and I think an old door or something that's slightly worn out and knocked can give you hints at things that might have happened there.
Okay, I'm imagining an old door with a stone surround that possibly leads into an abandoned garden. And this door is quite tall, blue. The paint is peeling from the door. It has a curved top. I can't really see round or through the door at all. It looks like it hasn't been opened for some time.
And the most impacting element, it was that the door was, around the door was a lot of nature, plants. So the contrast between the green of the plants, the leaves, and the red, the door, looks, I don't know, beautiful, and not only beautiful, like strange, unusual, but in a good way, probably.
And for some reason there's ivy growing around my door as well. So maybe it's a door in a garden, I don't know. I think it looks quite heavy, and it does look like it's been crafted by quite a skilled workman.
somebody who's taken care over it and time. A good door that's been made to last.
It's quite heavy to open. It's solid oak.
No, it looks really heavy. I'm sure I probably could open it with a good shove if I decided to try, and I might.
And what's on the other side of the door? I think it's kind of like a big hall, because it's something of this nature. It's not a door into a kitchen or anything like this. This is a grand place. It opens into a big hall with kind of long tables down each side and kind of almost like heraldic type things on the walls, so that kind of thing. It feels like it should be something that's full and lots of people in, but if it's empty, it probably feels quite it's like echoey, quite almost a little bit lonely.
Yeah, lots of spiders and wood lice.
Fly. No, I didn't. It got away.
It's one you go through quite quickly.
What's on the other side of the door?
I don't know, but I don't like it. There's...
Open the door.
Oh, wow. It's dark inside. I can see. I keep saying the word see and I can't see. But I know it's there, I feel it's there. It's dark, but there's enough light to see the shadows of certain things.
So it's not a place to linger.
There's no one there. I'm not happy about being there.
I think I'm probably starting to imagine the corridor of the house I grew up in.
That's weird. I seem to remember them being a push door. Just like, two doors that open up like you just push them and open. But they'd open both ways. And then I used to peep in between you could peep through the curtain thing. To secretly watch Monty Python's Flying Circus when I was sent to bed, because there was a big mirror at the back that reflected the telly. It looks like an act of rebellion. That's it, really.
So as soon as the doors opened, I'd see a cosy living room, and in the living room it'd be like walking into a massive library. Books along every wall, all like floor to ceiling bookshelves with those ladders that have runners, so you could go all the way around the room.
I would say that there are two things. One of them is the unknown. So beyond the door is and now it was where the two things come, sorry. So it's just the unknown. And the unknown had, to me, two kind of almost opposite things. One of them was risk, something that you don't like, something that could be dangerous. So that's the unknown beyond that door. And the other one is the excitement.
Come on, this way. Brian, could you get Maya? It's light and cold.
You mean the temperature inside the space is cold?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any windows? Can you see outside?
Yes, there is light. I think there's light. There's light from above. It's all very bright. It's all very fresh.
I can't see any windows. I don't know why there are no windows. Yeah.
I feel like looking. I feel like seeing everything. I feel at home. I feel curious. I feel like I want to see more.
So the first thing that comes to mind is on the right, as I'm facing forward, is sort of a corridor, and then there's stairs on the left that go up.
On the other side, there is a fairly long, maybe about 10 feet worth of corridor, which is bricked either side with an arch overhead, almost like a tunnel. And then beyond the tunnel, I can see quite a dark garden with shadows. It looks like acorns and oak leaves around the entrance to the garden, but I can't see much beyond it. I think I would have to push through that tunnel and into the garden to be able to see what was there.
Right, a long corridor with uneven, unlevel floorboards.
I'd like to see through wherever I'm entering, so I can imagine a sequence of other spaces on the other side of the door. It might be sort of layered up, or there might be other doors that line up, or other spaces, but I would like to see through to an outside, so I get a sense of how big the place is that I'm entering, and also what's on the other side, what's on the far side. And I'm thinking that because I'd like to know a bit more about the bigger environment of the place that I'm in, whether it's the same kind of round the back as it is at the front, and whether that's a surprise, whether it's a pleasant surprise, whether it's a nasty surprise. So just being able to arrive somewhere, but also know a bit more about the bigger context would be important, I think.
And on the right, there's a hallway. This just sort of goes through, and at the back of the hallway, I can see the kitchen, and then at the back of the kitchen, there's a window, so I can see out to the other side of the house all the way through, and then outside through the window, you've got that like that greenery again, so all the plants and the leaves and that kind of thing.
The sounds. So there's the outside. I can hear the outside. You can hear the outside, and that's all I can hear.
Outside.
Windows are open. Something is open. I hear the outside. Inside.
What is the outside?
The outside is trees and birds and noises from people, like here.
So, but if I have to open that door, I don't know, maybe can I get another garden? It's very difficult, that question, because I don't know if it's like something that it's represent that I want to see, or the reality that it was behind that door, because that door exists, that's it to me. So in the reality, the real life, I have never closed that door. I imagine that it was, after that there was a garden, or not a garden, a house garden, but a landscape probably, open landscape, yes. but no a wild landscape, a controlled landscape. I like the order.
Beyond the door is a beautiful but neglected garden, so with fruit trees, tall grass, the kind of traces and memories of where flower beds have been set out, but it's all overgrown, and it's very beautiful.
So when I imagine it, it's not a garden, it's just the outside the back of the house. So it's not sort of a space that, you know, like a garden that would have sort of fence at the back or anything like that. It's just, you look through the window and it's almost like everything around the house is just overgrowing with lots of leaves and lots of wildlife, lots of different trees and bushes. And it's almost like, when I imagine looking through that window, it's almost like the wildlife is pressing up against the back of the house. And if you were to go through the window, you might only have a couple of feet before you're already in the wildlife and everything's there, and you're sort of getting your face overwhelmed with sort of all the leaves and the bushes. So no garden, just straight away as you go out, little space, and then loads and loads and loads of leaves and things.
Yeah, outside space, green space. I would like to be able to keep going through that sequence, and at the end maybe pass out the other side of the building and into somewhere, pleasant outside with plenty of green, maybe with some trees at the far end. I don't know. I'm just kind of making it up, but it would be nice to be able to progress through and out the other side. Not in a hurry. So you could sort of move through at leisure, but in the sense that you could kind of pass through but then arrive somewhere that's quite, I don't know, like an oasis or something that's welcoming, holding, green, sunny, pleasant place to just sit and chill.
A green country garden with like a path with all wildflowers either side and lots of bees buzzing around it. Nice smell of like lavender and honeysuckle and all those kinds of fresh, say, country garden smells. But yeah, a path leading to a gate. Flowers either side of that path, and then bushes in the garden.
Okay, so if I walk down through the tunnel, I come to the garden. It's quite a sunny day, but the sun is diffused by the amount of greenery in the garden. Lots of oak trees, quite traditional planting, quite mature shrubberies, lots of bird song. Again, it's quite sunny. It feels like a nice, positive, warm place to be.
It's a warm day. It's very quiet. I can hear the birds. I can't hear any traffic. I can't hear any human voices. There's some sunshine. Yeah, that's all I can see.
Sunny. It's a very, very sunny day. Temperature is warm, but sort of a comfortable warm, not really, really hot. If you were to look up, the sky would be blue. Might be a couple of clouds dotted around here and there, but it's a nice sunny day.
It's a nice blue sky. There's trees on the street, so you kind of can't really see beyond, I can't tell at this point if it's other houses because there's a lot of trees, and hence where I can hear a lot of birds. So it's quite a peaceful scene.
Anything else?
Just that it makes me feel quite calm. Looking out. I say, and beautiful colours. You know, pinks, blues, of all the different flowers, whites, the green of all the leaves. It's very picturesque. Yeah.
I wanted to explore the unknown world, if that makes sense.
I've got to go and do something, I think, and I don't know my way around. But yeah, it's very simple, like it's someone's house that I haven't been to before, and I'm there to collect something, and I'm now going to have to feel my way around the room and find it, and I'm not sure where to start. This is so strange. I don't even know where any of this is coming from.
Very calm. Yeah, very calm, quite excited about how the garden might have come to be left there, to try and find out what the story is behind why the garden is still there in this state, if there are other people who care about the garden or who might change the garden or who might be okay with other people being in the garden.
Quite good. I feel calm about being here. I think sort of going back to what I was saying before about the room on the right that I couldn't see into but I knew was there, and it felt familiar. I think walking into this house for me, I don't know if I'm picking up memories from different places, but it feels like it's a very familiar place. Like it's calm, it's quiet, and sort of as I mentioned, there's no other houses around. It's just plonked in the middle of wherever we are. So it's not like there's a lot of noise pollution. We're not in a city or anything like that. It's just, I can just walk in and I feel like it's a home, actually, that maybe a home that I would like to live in one day, maybe something that, you know, is sort of an end, because at the moment I don't live in a house like this, I live in a flat, but this feels like it's something that I might want to live in one day. It feels very, very homely. I feel really calm, really nice walking in here, like everything's really, really familiar.
I was thinking about you were asking to me something about Sheffield or something about gardens, about doors, about...
Yeah, I spent a lot of time working at an auctioneer's, which has the unfortunate side of sorting through recently deceased people's homes.
Are you creative at all?
I don't do anything creative, really, no. This is probably one of the most creative things that I've done.
Can I say that was brilliant?
Really? That was so strange. Where does that come from?